You see a Lamborghini in traffic and you don't even turn your head. A Ferrari pulls up next to you at a light and you barely register it. Someone posts their new McLaren and you scroll past without a second thought. These are machines that once represented the absolute pinnacle of automotive desire, objects of pure fantasy that could stop traffic just by existing. Now they're just another car in the feed, another status symbol in the parking lot, another loud exhaust echoing off buildings while going nowhere. The magic is gone, the awe has evaporated, and you can't quite remember when it happened or why, but it did happen. Supercars stopped being special, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Chapter 1: The Death of Rarity. Supercars used to be rare, actually rare. You might see one once a month, once a year, maybe never, depending on where you lived. Each sighting was an event. You'd point it out to whoever was with you. You'd crane your neck to watch it pass. You'd remember it later, tell people about it. Now you see them everywhere, not because there are more of them necessarily, but because the internet has made them inescapable. Your feed is full of supercars. YouTube is drowning in supercar content. Every influencer with a credit card and a dream has access to exotic car rentals. The rarity that made them special has been algorithmically destroyed. You've seen so many Lamborghinis online that seeing one in person doesn't register as special anymore. Your brain has been oversaturated. The novelty circuit has been fried by constant exposure. Rarity created mystique. It created the sense that these cars existed in a different realm, driven by different people, living different lives. Now they're content props, background cars in music videos, rental fleet vehicles for Instagram photo shoots. The mystique is gone because the mystery is gone. Chapter 2: When performance became meaningless. Supercars were once the fastest things on the road. Nothing could touch them. That performance justified the price, the impracticality, the drama. They were extreme machines for extreme performance. Then electric cars arrived, and suddenly a four-door family sedan could out-accelerate most supercars. A SUV could match their 0 to 60 times. Performance stopped being exclusive. It stopped being exotic. The thing that justified supercars' existence, their superior capability, became democratized. Now, when someone tells you their supercar does 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, you think, so does a Model S Plaid, and it has 5 seats and a trunk. The performance that once seemed supernatural now seems like an expensive way to achieve something cheaper. Cars do just as well. The speed doesn't impress you anymore because speed is everywhere. And when speed is everywhere, it's nowhere special. The supercar's defining characteristic became their least impressive one. Chapter 3: The Lifestyle Lie. You figured out the secret. Most supercar owners don't love cars. They love what cars say about them. The supercar isn't the passion, it's the proof. Proof of success, of arrival, of having made it. You started noticing patterns. The same poses in front of the same cars with the same caption energy. The rental tags barely cropped out of photos. The least exotics that change every 6 months based on what's trending. The cars that never leave the city, never see a track, never get driven in any way that justifies their engineering. These aren't tools being used. They're accessories being displayed. And once you see them that way, the cars themselves become less interesting than the psychology of the people who need them. The supercar becomes a symptom of insecurity rather than a symbol of passion. You realize that the people who truly love driving, who genuinely appreciate automotive engineering, often aren't the ones buying supercars anymore. They're buying Miatas and hot hatches and old BMWs, cars they can actually use, actually push, actually connect with. The supercar became the car of people who want to be seen as car people without actually being car people, and that made them fundamentally uninteresting. Chapter 4: The homogenization of excess. Remember when each supercar brand had its own character, its own philosophy, its own approach to speed? Ferrari was about racing pedigree and naturally aspirated screaming V12. Lamborghini was about drama and aggression and scissor doors. Porsche was about precision and evolution of a single perfect idea. Now they all feel the same. Same turbocharged engines, same dual clutch transmissions, same driver aids managing the experience, same carbon fiber construction, same active aerodynamics, different body shapes, different badges, but fundamentally identical approaches to the same problem. The diversity that made the supercar world interesting has collapsed into conformity. When McLaren and Ferrari and Lamborghini are all making mid-engine, twin-turbo, carbon-tubbed, 7-speed, dual-clutch supercars, what's the difference beyond styling? They've all converged on the same formula, optimized the same variables, arrived at the same conclusion, and the conclusion is boring. Competent but boring. Fast but characterless. Capable but soulless. They've engineered away everything interesting in pursuit of lap times that only matter to people who will never approach them. Chapter 5: What actually impresses you now? You know what stops you in your tracks now? It's not the millionth Aventador at Cars and Coffee. It's the perfectly maintained AE86 with mismatched paint and 30 years of character. It's the restomodded 911 that someone clearly built to drive, not to display. It's the ratty Miata covered in brake dust and oil stains that gets tracked every weekend. You're impressed by commitment now, not capital, by passion, not price tags, by cars that show evidence of being loved through use rather than preserved through avoidance, by people who chose cars based on how they drive rather than how they look parked. The supercar represents the wrong kind of excess. Excess money, excess attention seeking, excess of everything except the thing that actually matters, the driving experience. And you've evolved past being impressed by excess for its own sake. You've developed taste, real taste, not inherited taste, not algorithmic taste, but earned taste that comes from actually driving different things and learning what you value. And what you value isn't what supercars offer anymore. You value feedback over power, connection over capability, character over correctness. The things that make a car feel alive, that make the act of driving it rewarding, that create moments worth remembering. And most supercars, for all their performance and presence, don't deliver that. They deliver speed, drama, status, but not soul, and not the kind of experience that lingers after the drive ends, not the kind of connection that makes you want to drive it again tomorrow for no reason except that you want to. Supercars used to represent the dream. Now, they feel like someone else's dream that you're not interested in anymore. Because you've learned that the best cars aren't necessarily the fastest, or the most expensive, or the most exotic. They're the ones that make you feel something real, that engage you as a driver rather than display you as an owner, that prioritize experience over image, substance over spectacle. Maybe supercars will impress you again someday. Maybe you'll see one that breaks through the noise, that feels genuinely special, that reminds you why these machines mattered in the first place. But it won't be because it's expensive or fast or rare. It'll be because it has something most supercars lost along the way. A soul worth connecting with. Until then, you'll keep scrolling past the Lamborghinis and searching for something that actually moves you. Not in terms of speed, in terms of feeling. And feeling is something money can't manufacture.